And, I mean, just to kind of put it into context, years and years ago, I was an instructor in an Indigenous natural resource management program in the community I live in British Columbia. It was sort of a college program. There were Indigenous students, and it was about picking up the skills so that they're employable in like forestry and fisheries and wildlife management. And one of the students in my class was from the community I live in, which is the traditional territory of the Tanaha people in southern British Columbia. They're super interesting people because their language is known as a language isolate. They're the only people in all of North America with that language structure. They are not related to any of the other like 5 major language groups on the continent. So he told me when he was young that in school he was told by schools in like the white school system that the state of knowledge was that his people were only in this area for 200 years prior to the Europeans first arriving here in the Rocky Mountains of southern British Columbia. In his lifetime and my lifetime, archaeologists that started doing more work actually placed the Tanaha people in British Columbia when the glaciers were still covering the continent. They were traveling across the glaciers and hitting the tips and tops of the Rocky Mountains and the Purcell Mountain Range. So pushing over 10,000 years ago. So, that's an example of time on the landscape. And to your question, like the reason I told that story is because in how short a time in our lifetime, our understanding of Indigenous peoples on North America has really radically changed. I know, you know, early on when I was a kid, papers or even as a young adult, they were placing the numbers of people in the hundreds of thousands in North America at the time of contact.